Hello everybody, my name's Tim from IELTSfreeway.com and today I'm going to be sharing with you how to do IELTS Writing Task 2, General and Academic. I'm going to do this in a 4-part video series, and the 4 videos are Video 1, Basic Information that you need to know. Video 2, Question Types and Structure. Video 3, How Essays are Marked. And Video 4, The Stages of Writing. So, this is Video 1, and we'll be covering all the basic information that you need to know to do IELTS Writing Task 2. So, let's make a start. The IELTS writing test is 60 minutes long in total, and it consists of 2 parts. Part 1 is different depending on if you're taking the general paper or the academic paper. If you're taking general IELTS, part 1 is a letter writing task. If you're taking the academic IELTS, part 1 is a summary task where you summarize graphs, charts or pictures. However, part 2 is exactly the same for both papers. It's a formal academic discussion essay. There are twice as many marks for task 2 as there are for task 1. So if you want to improve your band score for your writing, it's particularly important to focus on improving your essay. Time management is very important for the writing test because you are given 1 hour to do both parts. So you have to decide how long you spend on each part. Nobody will tell you when to change from task 1 to task 2. It is recommended though that you spend 20 minutes on task 1 and 40 minutes on task 2. In task 1 you need to write 150 words. In task 2 you have to write at least 250 words. You must write at least 250. If you write less, you will lose marks. However, you won't get extra marks for writing, say, 300 words or 350 words, but you do need to reach the minimum word count of 250. In a later video, I will give you the exact step-by-step process to manage your time effectively to do this essay in the 40 minutes. So, what topics might you be asked to write about? Well, here are 10 common topics that often come up in the IELTS essay task. Have a look at the list. We've got health, environmental issues, education, government spending, globalization, public transport, criminal justice, youth crime, technology, and development. All of these are very common and important issues for most people and countries. In fact, if you make the effort to read your national newspapers, you will find that these issues are discussed in depth in them. So really reading around these topics is ideal preparation for your task 2 essays. They will give you lots of ideas and vocabularies that you can then write about and apply in your essay. So, how can you prepare for your IELTS Writing Task 2? Well, first, you need to start preparing early. Plan ahead. It sometimes takes people a couple of attempts before they get the band score that they need. So you really need to allow yourself enough time, especially if you've got other important exams to do in the near future, like A-levels, or if you have deadlines for application to universities or for visas for other countries. So plan ahead and prepare early. This also gives you a chance to improve your English to the desired level. In my experience, it takes a couple of months of dedicated practice to improve your English to get up one band level. However, you can also improve your score through learning good technique. And that is what my website, IELTSFreeway.com, is about. So, what else can you do to prepare for the exam, for the essay part? You need to have a plan. You need to know how are you going to tackle the questions. In a later video, like I mentioned, you'll also get a full step-by-step writing process that you can learn and use. Thirdly, you need to practice under pressure. In the exam, you might be nervous and you have to write at quite a fast pace, so you need to practice under timed conditions. So time yourself. Fourthly, you need to practice a variety of question types. As you'll discover in my next videos, there are 3 different question types. Don't just practice the same type over and over again. Practice a variety so that whatever type of question you get, you feel comfortable that you can answer it. Fifthly, try and get a native speaker to mark your essays, maybe a teacher at school or a friend, and get some feedback so that you know what is not quite right, and then you can work on improving that. And finally, as I've already mentioned, you need to read around these topics so that you have ideas. You have already thought about the types of issues that might come up in the exam. This will make the planning stage of your writing much easier if you can think of ideas quickly and easily. Okay, so that's all for this first video about basic information, apart from a quick quiz. So, can you name 3 common IELTS topics? Well, if you quickly flick back to the list, you can have health, environmental issues, education, criminal justice, youth crime, and so on. I'll let you read through those again at your leisure. Next question. How long in total do you have for the IELTS writing test? Pause the video and have a think. Okay, so the answer is 1 hour in total. But remember, you have 20 minutes for part 1 and 20 minutes for part 2. Question 3. How are academic and general writing tests different? Well, pause the video and have a think. Hopefully, you came up with something like the general writing test, part 1 is a letter, but the academic test, part 1, is a summary describing pictures, diagrams, and charts. However, task 2 is identical. Question 4. How many words do you need to write for task 2? Hopefully, You are aware that it's a minimum of 250. You must write at least 250 words. And finally, what type of language should you not use in the essay? Have a think. Hopefully, you came up with things like contractions, using words like can't instead of cannot, don't instead of do not, using I too much, using phrasal verbs too much, and being too emotional in your responses. Okay, that's all for this video. The next video is about question types and structures. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and proceed on to video 2. I'll see you then.